Hello, everybody. Good evening. Oh shit! I just remembered. Hold on. Power went out earlier, which means that the audio box wasn't running. That's better. Whoops! Forgot to turn that on. Luckily, I remembered it this time. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I hope your Monday wasn't too terrible. How was Tricks? Alright, not doing too bad. I've mostly got over the cold. Still feel a bit snotty when I wake up in the morning, and the cough hasn't quite gone away yet, but I've been nuking it with as much honey tea and cough syrup as I can get my hands on. So, doing pretty well, all things considered. Did sound a bit different. Yeah, I will do. Don't beseech the machine god and turn on the magic box, which makes the voice sound good. It doesn't sound as good. But hey ho. This music rocks, man. This game has such a good soundtrack. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more though. Need it as background music now. Not blasting through your speakers. I really need to make a note of who composed this soundtrack. Apparently it was Guillaume David. Or something. Hold on. Mechanicus soundtrack composer. Guillaume David. I think. I've never heard anything by him before ever, but he's done such a cool job. Got to a team of 4 tech priests around rank 11 each. Sweet, nice one, dude. Wow. I got honey tea, which is going to be, oh god, it's going to be such a job breaking the habit of putting honey in my tea now because it tastes so nice. Oh dear. Took me years to stop putting sugar in my tea. Never mind. I also sent off my No Retreat 8 application today. Literally like an hour ago, actually. Sent off the email. Now fingers and toes crossed. Hopefully I'll get a nice package in the mail at some point. With a "you are invited to No Retreat" little thing in it. So filled out all the stuff, took as many really sweet photos as I could, and we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not that optimistic, to be honest with you. My painting is alright, but it's not as good as their usual stuff, and also it's the first time I've applied, and they tend to give preferential treatment to people who've applied repeatedly in the past. Also, I'm not internet famous, so I don't get a free pass. Honey is good for me, yeah. I don't... Sweet tea is something I got out of the habit of a while ago. Now it's dragging me back in. Problem is, it's expensive. You go through a jar of honey pretty fucking quick when you're drinking honey tea. But yeah, no, I sent the application off anyway, so I'm quite chuffed about that. Feels weirdly like applying for a job interview rather than going to a tournament, but hey, it's all part of the fun. I'd show the pictures to you if it weren't for the fact that it would also reveal incriminating information. So. But there's some pretty photos. I'm actually thinking of setting up an Instagram account just to put all my model photos on. It's a suggestion of my brother's recently. He said, "Do you have an Instagram account?" I was like, "No." He's like, "You should make one and put all your 40k stuff on it." I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a good idea actually." Wean yourself off it by putting rum in instead. Oh god, no. Yuck. No thank you. Rum and tea? Yeah, I don't think so, personally. Many times in my life have I been surprised by weird flavour combinations, such as peanut butter and camembert cheese. But, no, not rum and tea. I don't think so, somehow. Mostly because I don't like rum as it is. No matter what it's mixed with, either. Just can't stand the stuff. Peanut butter and cheese, yeah. It's a classic combo. Peanut butter and mayonnaise used to be a big deal back in the day. Mix with fruits. Yeah, I mean, like the common thing is like you've got your PB&J, but you can also do peanut butter and honey, which is nice. People usually mix it with sweet stuff, but the wonderful thing about peanut butter is it's not quite sweet and not quite savory, so you can actually mix it with loads of stuff. You know what's funny about that, Obergovo, is that mayo and peanut butter was an American thing. Specifically, it was an American thing. People used to, during the Great Depression, used to have mayo and peanut butter sandwiches because it was full of, like, basically just full of calories. And protein and shit, so... Oh, Nutella is the devil. It's too good. You always have to... Problem with Nutella is you have to exercise tremendous amounts of self-control with it to not just grab a spoon and dig it out straight out of the jar. I usually fail at that test of self-control myself, which is why I don't tend to get it very much anymore. Ah, damn. Right. Actually, I tell you what, hold on. Oh, no, that won't work. Unless it will. Oh, it will. Hold on. I'm going to show you some pictures. I'm going to do the whole boring you to death with my holiday snaps thing. I'm going to show you some pictures of the stuff that I sent to the guys at SN earlier today. Hopefully it looks alright. Hopefully. Oh god, it's so laggy when you're trying to stream it. Holy shit. Ooh. The Windows Photo Viewer does not like being streamed in the slightest. God damn. But it's very bizarre, frankly. I ain't never seen it do that before. That's just goddamn weird. Here we go. Creative writing mode! It actually also works for this, as it turns out. There you go. So, basically the way this works is you get to apply with 3 armies. And you got to take a bunch of photos of those armies and send them off to them. And out of all the applicants they get, they narrow it down to 42 people who are actually allowed to go to the event in Gibraltar. So I applied with these boys here, the Custodes, my Imperial Knights, and my Tau, because they were the 3 armies I had that I've painted myself and are also quite pretty, I think, anyway, and also are maybe a little bit unusual. Maybe not so much in these guys' case, but the other 2 are a little bit unusual, and they like unusual at SN. If you've got a particularly interesting looking army, they're more likely to say yes. So, here be me Custodes. I'm sure you've... Have you seen these guys before on here? I don't know, actually. I know they've not been in a video yet on the channel. Might be in the new year, though, but I don't know. We'll see. But here's my dudes. Some 3 shield captains, and then we got Trajan Valoris at the back there. Some just regular custodian guardsmen. More regular custodian guardsmen. Big dreadnought. Love this boy. He's awesome. I haven't managed to use him in ages, though, because he's a lot of points, and he's from Forge World, and a lot of places you go to are like, no Forge World allowed. I'm like, God damn it, man, I need this to make my army actually function as an army. Just Games Workshop only saw fit to give the Custodes like 4 units. So, but hey ho. There's our standard bearer, who is probably going to be replaced soon because his standard keeps snapping in half and it's getting increasingly difficult to glue it back on again. And I think when I do that, I'm going to do a painting tutorial while I'm at it for how I paint these guys. Yeah, there's Trajan again. Looking distinctly like a Jerry Anderson puppet, actually, for some reason, but hey. It's that big lower lip of his. Then we have the Knights, the Knigets of House Monroe. Some painted slightly better than others, I have to admit. Lots of freehand on these guys, including this, so... How do I do the faces so well? Practice. And the occasional tutorial on YouTube. There's a 13th Dreadnought getting snapped in half. In case you ever wondered what it looks like when a knight does its Titanic stomp attack on a Dreadnought in 40k, it probably looks something like that. Duncan the Painting Gods videos, basically. Yeah, when I got back into 40k with 8th edition, I basically just binged a bunch of Duncan's videos. And that got me started, and from there on out, I just sort of figured shit out by trial and error, and occasionally stumbling on other tutorials online every now and again, and finding out a new technique that way. But the faces, yeah, it's just... Excuse me, it's just a case of having a decent brush and patience. One of Winters' boys, yep. It's become the running joke at the moment that every one of Winters' patrons, of which I am a member, we keep putting dead members of the 13th on the basis of our models. There's the old Knight Gallant. Quite pleased with him. I like Knight Gallants. I think they might go up in points with chapter approved, sadly, but I do like me Gallants. Just sort of basically a large robot with the tactical doctrine of the Kool-Aid Man. Charge straight into the enemy lines and smash through it. If you wanted to know how to rugby tackle an entire army at once, this is the guy you get to do it. Yes, I quite like him. I enjoyed building this one as well. It's one of the like bog standard Questoris Knight kits, which I hadn't done up until that point, and I enjoyed it. I think I'm going to do a few more of these. I'm holding off building any more knights at the minute until Chapter Approved comes out, and I can figure out, you know, which are the best options on points. But when I do, I've got a couple more knight kits ready to build. So we got the what's this guy? The Cerastus Knight Castigator? Yeah, this is the Castigator with the twin minigun thing and the big glowy sword. And the cool banner I made for him. That took a while, that did. And there's the big glowy sword. I had to get someone to airbrush the initial colours on that one before I was able to glaze it and highlight it, actually, because I don't own an airbrush because they're really expensive, and I don't have the room for one either, because you need like a compressor and all sorts of garbage. And all my hobbying I pretty much just do on my computer desk, which is also where I do my, you know, YouTube and Twitch work as well. So I don't have the room here for an airbrush setup. So I get some sort of dedicated hobby desk elsewhere. So if I need something airbrushed, I have to get a friend to do it for me. Castellan again with the nice free hand on the leg. There's the lot. There's the group photo again. And oh yeah, this is the Atropos. He's going to be the warlord usually whenever I use him, because he's canonically the High King. He's the guy in charge of the whole house. He's got his is this a las cutter? I think it's a las cutter. It's like a laser weapon that you can use at short range and in close combat as well, which is pretty sweet. And he's got this grav cannon thing, which is a fun weapon because you roll every time you fire it, you roll a dice, and on a roll of a 1, it damages you, and on a roll of a 6, it powers up and does like double damage. So it's a bit random but quite fun. There's the Tau. That's pretty much all of them I got so far, I think. Although I think I left a few drones still in the box, but that's what the Tau are looking like these days. I know some of you might have seen the what do you call it? The showcase video I did for them when I first got them. But they've grown a little bit since then. So, oh, don't fucking do the commies crap. You'll trigger me so hard. Oh, God. Never was a nickname more ill-deserved. Recently finished your command. I kind of want to show on Discord. Would do so. Do so, by all means. There you go. There's the two commanders I've got, the Ethereal and the two Fireblades. And the squad of breaches at the front there. And I only noticed when I was taking these photos that I forgot to drill the barrel on that bolt pistol, and it's driving me absolutely insane. Oh yeah, the obligatory member of the 13th getting stood on yet. There you go, there's a close-up of him. Including Hulk Hogan over there. I want to talk about the greater good, brother! I like the sunglasses, that's a nice touch. Yeah, and she's got a cigar. These were the ones that were built with mostly bits from Anvil Industries. The helmet on that one, the torso and legs, that was all from Anvil, I think. And the heads, maybe? No, that head's from Statuesque. That one's from Anvil. Well, it's not drilling too deep is the problem. The problem is drilling it in the middle. Because if you drill it a little off center, it looks wonky, which is why drilling barrels is kind of scary. But the trick is you need to get like a needle or a pin or something, and then make a pilot hole in the middle that's very, very small that will guide the drill in. That's what you're supposed to do. There's more of the dudes. There's my Crisis suits and my Ghost Keel, which I've not used in a battle rep yet. I have no idea why, honestly, because the Ghost Keel's really fucking good. The Ghost Keel and the Stealth suits are really kick-ass, and I still haven't used them yet for some idiotic reason. Well, these guys here, right? These guys are based off of the way Guerversa troops are described in a Black Library novel called The Greater Evil. There's a bunch of human auxiliaries in the Greater Evil who are described as having these this armor and weapons similar to Tau Fire Warriors, but they don't have the contoured leg armor, and they have these helmets with tinted visors like this. So when I was hunting around for bits, trying to build my own Guerversa troops, I tried to find stuff that looked like the way they were described in that book. So there's the old Riptide, who fucking failed me abysmally against Winters. You bastard. Just the first 2 turns of the game, could not hit anything with that frickin' gun of his. Oh my god! Stupid Riptide. He's even got the wrong gun. Like, he needs to have the heavy burst cannon, because it's the better option, but this is just what he has. Yeah, I don't like this guy, he's annoying. That's one of my broadsides. Pathfinders. Commander again, with a 13th Space Marine on the base, of course. And more close-ups of the breaches, I think. Yeah, the breaches, you can tell because they've got the little guns. And the extra body armor. Oh, and that's a slightly more in-focus picture of the breaches. Didn't realise they'd taken 2 then. Some Pathfinders and Fire Warriors. Some wonky drones. I fucking hate drones. You need them so bad when you play Tau, but I hate the bastards because they're fiddly and they don't sit on their stands properly. Ugh. Annoying little gits. Anyway. And more of the same, really. Just some Crisis suits in the background there. Oh, and some tanks. There you go. That's actually a sneak preview for the next battle report, which I spent most of today and yesterday editing together. I need to check the old release and filming schedule to tell you exactly when it's going to be released, but yeah, it's going to be soon. This was the next campaign battle in the Morgan's Reach campaign me and Dan are doing, so these guys I am not applying to no retreat with. They're not quite pretty enough, I don't think. But there's a sneak preview for you. The tank battle, indeed. Someone's been watching the video, at least. So, yeah. Tank battle happened. I will not say anything more, because I don't want to spoil it for you, but tank battle happened, and it was quite epic. Things exploded, yep. It's fair to say things did indeed explode. I'm probably going to use that as the thumbnail for the video as well. Right. That's enough of me showing you... boring you with my pictures. I think we should probably get started. Right, where's the soundtrack's gone all quiet anyway, so right. Game capture. Dun dun dun. Hopefully this should just grab it automatically. Oh, don't bust my balls like this, Steam. Just launch it, please. Don't give me this preparing to launch bullshit. Got any pics of Du Bois yet? No, I don't have any pics yet. Actually, no. I have a picture of the Warlord. I tell a lie. I have a picture of the Warlord. A couple of pictures, actually, from different angles. But I posted this in the chat in the last stream. But, there you go. There's Admiral Zog. I finished painting him up a few days ago. I have 2 more characters to do. I have a Nob with a War banner that needs to be painted. And I have a Weird Boy that needs to be painted as well. The Weird Boy is a... Actually, I need to build and paint him, having said that. But he's going to be an interesting one, because I have a really, really super silly idea for a conversion for him, which if I pull it off is going to be fucking hilarious.
Scum.
Tommy Boy Hubbard, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome aboard this strange stream where occasionally we actually play video games. Come on, launch the game, please, Steam. Oh my god, why does Steam have to exist, guys? Steam is the worst thing ever. It's just sat there on ready to launch, and it won't let me click the play game button. There we go. There we go. It was being slow as shit. All right. You like the hat? Yes, it's very good, isn't it? He's a freebooter, so he's got to have a hat. The rules. I don't know if you can see it, but on his power claw, there's a little Jolly Roger. What self-respecting war boss does not have a bunch of skulls hanging from his belt buckle? Like, come on, man. If you don't have a collection of your favorite skulls dangling from your belt buckle, you're not a proper war boss. You're doing it wrong.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me.
I love this intro so much.
I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine. Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you. One day the crude biomass that you call the temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But I am already saved. For the machine is immortal.
Even in death, I serve the Omnissiah. Yes! And this reminds me as well, The other day, the Games Workshop put up the Battle Force box sets, Battle Force bundles for this Christmas up for pre-order, and I've officially placed my order. I've got the Fist of the Omnissiah Battle Force bundle inbound, 2 start collecting boxes of Skitarii as well, and there was something. Oh, and the Codex and the cards as well. So. And I think I'm going to... I was really tempted to throw in another box of Castellan robots as well. Because I fucking love the robots, they're so cool. But... Also, I'm going to get... I don't know if any of you here have ever seen the Mechanicum, like, Tech Priest character from the Horus Heresy series of models that Forge World do. The one that's on the sort of pulpit thing floating. Like if you picture it, basically, it's a tech priest, but he's up on this sort of big mechanical pulpit, like in a church, but it's obviously a Mechanicum style thing, so it's covered in cogs and other kinds of parchment and bullshit all over it. And it's levitating. I want to get that guy and convert him a little bit and put him on the correct size base. I'm going to basically use him as my version of Belisarius Cawl. So instead of using the normal Belisarius Cawl model, I'm going to use that fucker. Floating around on his techno pulpit, doing his thing. So that's my plan. That's going to be a bit expensive, but it'll be so fucking worth it. And the cool thing is as well, I think you can, once you put it together, you can take him off the pulpit and have him just on a normal base as well. So I can run him as just a regular Tech Priest Dominus if I want to, or I can put him on his mega pulpit and he powers up and becomes Countess Call. Now we are doing all of the rerolls. So... Excuse me, that's the plan. That is the plan. So yeah, I'm going to get him. I've already got on the way the Battle Force bundle. I got, like I said, 2 start collecting boxes, and plus, actually, as well, the Forgebane stuff from my Forgebane set that I had lying around, and the stuff from the Kill Team set as well. There was a squad of Skitarii in the old Kill Team set as well. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm all about that Machine God preaching at the moment. This game, in part way, thanks to that, but also I've been reading the Mechanicum novel by Graham McNeil as well. So I'm all about that Omnissiah hype at the moment. So that's going to be my next big project, I think, for the next like month or so, month or 2, month or 3. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Finally get to paint a new Imperium army again, because I love my Imperium armies, even though I have way too many of them, I suppose. But I don't care. I do not care. So let's see. Stream 1. This is what we want. Loading. Oh, here we go. The Omnissiah's work is never completed. I require your intervention with its next stage, Magos. Ah, yes, Videx. He was not content merely with using the holy air fresheners inside the tomb. He probably wants us to do something else. Let's have a look at what the rewards are. In fact, I think, wasn't I going to do some tweaking with my cohort? Yes, I've got like 400 Blackstone. So let's do this first, before we go embarking on a new mission. Let's see. Upgrade! What do we wish to do with you? We still don't have any new weapons, which is very irritating. We've got shitloads of support crap, but... let's get you a new thing. What do we want? Dominus arm augments, maybe? Dominus head augment? Torso augment? That's just objectively better than the head. So we'll go with that. That will give us an extra augment capacity. Yes, yes. Starting to look more the part. Yeah, I mean, like my first run of this game, before I started streaming it, I had more weapons than I knew what to do with. I was exactly the same as you, Velonos. But for this run, for some reason, they've not given me any weapons, just loads of support rubbish. I honestly don't know why. It's very strange, but hey. Is any of this worth taking? Currently, I've given him 2 phosphor blast pistols and the axe. I'm just wondering if there's anything worth swapping it out for. Maybe that Curatio Mechadendrite for healing. Maybe. It's not very much, is it though? It's like 2 HP. I could maybe heal a Servitor slightly with it. That's pretty poor, honestly. And honestly, in a way, kind of almost pointlessly unnecessary, considering I've got Canticles that do plenty of healing. That's slightly better. There you go. That heals 2 to 4, but still not very good. And it costs you cognition. That gives you a knockback attack. The thing is, you rarely want a knockback attack, do you? Unless you're up against some of the later melee enemies that Necrons have, but at this stage, I mostly want to get... I actually want this guy to be in combat with Necrons so he can tie them up and get attacks of opportunity, so... I don't want to push them away. Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with the 2 Phosphor Blasters. Meanwhile, Megos Jeremiah here. He's got 2 disciplines, this guy. Tech Auxilium and Lex Mechanic. So, Extraction Protocol, Servo Skull. Defensive Protocol, Servo Skull, +1 physical armor. And then Bless. I think we'll go with Lex Mechanic. I want this guy to be our crazy cognition farmer. So let's see. Okay. 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 I like the dodge chance, that's kind of cool, but... more health is always lovely. So let's take that. There you go. Doesn't look as impressive as the other dude, I'm afraid. Minarius is just pimped out like crazy right now. Look at him. But Jeremiah fulfills an important role, and that is harvesting lots of cognition. Which obviously can be used for the other guys, but also, as I've said before, my plan for him eventually is to give him a big Volkite blaster, which requires like a shed load of cognition to fire normally. So if you've got a guy who can farm it loads and loads and loads and then just blast people every turn with the Volkite thing, it's awesome. So if the game would give us some goddamn weapons, it would be amazing, but you know, whatever. Alright, so mission. What are our rewards? Oh, there you go, Volkite blaster, very nice. And Spotlight and Blackstone and Voidex. Power field generator, Skitari Vanguard. Oh, that would be good. They're both good options. Let's do this one. It's rated easy after all. What do we got? Canoptic, Canthrite, Flayed One, and Necron Warrior. So we can unlock some Skitari Vanguards. Alright, let's do this one. And just loads of Servitors. The potential for corruption in the Tomb of Agrilec continues to vex me, Magos. Spreading of the incense was not enough. I fear not, Magos. The malevolence of the Necron is overwhelming. Observations on the Tech Cosmos verse 68. We are derelict in our duty whenever we allow corruption to plague the minds of good men. And what do you suggest? Our progress in the tomb makes it possible for us to install a system of Voxcasters in the structure. And what would that achieve? Lingua Technis prayers could be transmitted to the very heart of the Necron's resting place. Our troops would go everywhere bathed in the sacred binary of the Omnissiah. Sayings of the Princeps 65.4. When thou desirest to discourse purely, use binary. Novel concept, Lector Dogmatis. So we've fumigated the Necron tomb. We're now going to install speakers that will blast prayers to the Omnissiah out of them. I have considered your plan, Videx, and a cohort has been deployed to the area. I have personally selected the prayers of purification and translated them into broad-spectrum binary. Once the Voxcasters are active, the tomb will ring to the Omnissiah's word. I have the Voxcaster locations plotted, Magos. I'm still uncertain if this is worth the risk to our people. One in possession of unaugmented emotional centers cannot appreciate the benefit of this operation. Galathamorians 45.7. Above bullets, above blades, care for your soul above all. Your concerns are noted, Kepra, but you have your orders. Yes, Magos. These will be done. Right. Oh, foul. Could this be a place of Xenos worship? We have no data on their religious practices, but I retrieved Pharaoh Dictates 53.12 and something I accidentally clicked. Damn it. This chamber contains a large slab of metal that resembles an altar with the images of glowering skull-like Necron faces inscribed on the walls. Shatter. Destroy the altar with demolition charges. Best not to expose the cohort to the corrupt ways of the Xenos threat. Sequester. Seal off the chamber and find another way around. Or defile the altar. Ritually defile the altar with rancid machine oil and a scattering of burned out fuses. Scattering of burned out fuses. So I love that this is the Mechanicus' idea of vandalism. This one. Situation analysis. Study opportunity greater than religious fervor. Conclusion, disappointment. Logical choice, Magos. The creed of Mars should be the only faith on Silver Tenebrous. Tech priests, excuse me. The tech priests take great pleasure in reciting the litany of defilement over the altar and anointing it with the fluids of desecration. During this process, a mass of Xenos alloy shavings are discovered behind the slab. Perhaps this was not a place of worship at all, but a form of workshop. We gained a cognitive canister. Excuse me, folks. Like I said, I haven't quite got over that cough yet. Necron season in us. Who tipped over the rubbish bin? Yeah, I know, right? Someone's covered the fridge in burnt fuses and engine oil. Ooh, fighting time. Hatterfron battle servitor armor not thick enough. Castellan's proving equally ineffective. Must find weakness before we're... Connection lost. It appears this Xenos form triggered a fragmented recording from Resak. Indeed. It appears we have a tough time using heavily armored forces against this specimen. Maybe we can use their strength against them. Wise words, Dominus. Survive 3 rounds. Very well. do for now. Let's see. Servo skull. Is there any cognition around here that I can get my hands on? Yes, there is. There you go. Let's move here. Let him scuttle. Shoot this guy twice. Nice thing about the Phosphor Blaster, I suppose, is it does give you their statistics. Shoot him with the other one. And we will use our cognition point to move next to him, just to be annoying. We won't be able to hit him this turn with this guy, but we might get an attack of opportunity instead. And he gets his extra cognition point for free, which is lovely. Any more cognition things? Ah, there's one. We'll have that. Thank you. Shoot him twice again. Move up here. Bash him in the face. Excellent. Ruh-roh. A flayed one. What is this vile mix of flesh and machine? Is this form of Necron in its infant state? What has Scaevola got to say? Unsurety statement loaded. Unsure of life from form progression path. Diagnosing possible outcomes. Signs of degradation. Deformed segmentation and physiological deformities. Possible solutions. Infant disease. Parasitic life form that represents form of ripped flesh. Should I continue? That's enough, Scaevola. I believe we are not the ones to diagnose Necron health, but instead be their executioners. I am mostly concerned for my troops' morale. There have been reports of Skitarii disappearing in these tombs, and I believe now I know why. Skitarii lives, Archaeotech, STC fragments, mission. How supportive of you, Redditors. Good old Servo Skull. Right. Oh, Servitor. Welcome to the party, pal. Right, you can finish off that Necron. Bye! See you later. And, yeah. You can toddle off this way, I suppose. Hello, Mr. Flayed One. What are you doing with that cognition? What are you doing? The machine spirit is charged on our phosphor blasters as well, which is very nice. Damn, not enough cognition. Shit. That might have been a mistake. Never mind. End turn. Now we've got some cognition, though. It's a shame his initiative isn't higher. I'd like him to go first instead. Oh, this is annoying. Alright. Damn. This is not optimal. Oh, another Flayed One. And another Necron Warrior. Fantastic. Kill all enemies. Alright. Let's have a Servitor. And another Servitor. Oh, never mind. Splat. Servitor is unfortunately a little more than a distraction. Hey! Opportunity attack there, that's nice. Wow, that only did 1 damage. I think I got very lucky there. That hurt, though. Right, you git. Will you die, please? Thank you. Didn't like that. Hello, Spaghetti Knight. Oh, and mirrors. You were saying hello to mirrors. I get it now. But hi, anyway. Oh. Stupid acid. Through pain I find wisdom. Bye, Servitor. Alright. Pew pew. There we go. I did the trick. See ya. Cognition, please. Shoot you with the other Phosphor Blaster. And then proceed here. And smack the Flayed One. There we go. Very nice. Let's have another couple of Servitors. Oh, you're stuck, aren't you? I better delay your turn. Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. Hi, Prince of God. It's going all right, actually. I made a bit of a tactical fumble earlier, but we've recovered. We're only slightly acid damaged. I know I can use Servitors to finish off the down ones. I have played this game before. Hey, nice, a 1 with an attack of opportunity. Just the way I like it. Didn't even have to do anything. Just react. Sayings of the Arch Magi. Appendix 4. Such sweet music is the chatter of binary that has no tongue to lie. Ensure the volume is sufficient, Magos. The first Voxcaster unit is in place. It immediately begins transmitting the complex binary of Lingua Technis. Volume level Alpha. Leave the volume the same. The prayers are loud enough as it is. Volume level Gamma. Increase the volume. By prayer shall this place be cleansed. Volume level Omega. Turn the volume up to maximum. Let the enemy tremble before his word. Oh, yes. Principe Logica 22.4. Let his word be exalted to the 11th degree. The Voxcaster's maximum volume turns out to be tremendous indeed, shattering some of the Necron sarcophagi in the area. The warrior forms contained within will not be attacking in the foreseeable future. Right, we must press onwards. Canticles. Excuse me. I am wondering if it would be not worth using a canticle. I don't think I can actually use it on this screen. I have to be in a battle to do it. I could have certainly used one of these. Although, I think if I go another mission without using it, I'll get the final rank of Count of the Craft. So we'll try and go without. A single port designed for a Necron Canoptech creature extrudes from the device. I don't know. This one? Ah, we're healed. I think we're already at full health, but never mind. The cohort's communications pick up a transmission played in a binary-adjacent Xenos language that can be interpreted as a distress signal. It is originating from the next chamber and is transmitted only in the very local area. Enter the chamber to find the source. Listen to the transmission from outside the chamber. Attempt to answer the transmission. Enter the chamber to find the source. A ship that Agrilex's fleet destroyed, perhaps? It sounds just like the Void Admiral to record its last moments and replay it for his amusement. The chamber contains a flickering hologram of a ship's bridge with a captain of an unknown Xenos species making the transmission as the ship breaks apart around him. Bizarre and interesting. The Necron tomb is trying to defend itself. Clearly our mission is working. Aphorisms 94.13. The enemy rushes to action when our ministrations cause him fear. A swarm of tiny, scarab-like constructs emerges from the apertures in the walls and begins scurrying all over the Voxcaster, chewing through its casings with their steel mandibles. Protect. Retrieve the Voxcaster before it is destroyed. It can be deployed elsewhere. Purge. Clear away the scarabs with the righteous application of flame. And probably toast the Voxcaster in the process. Clear away the scarabs with the cohort's melee weapons. Let's do this one. Killing the scarabs is a messy business, and some of the cohort are infested by the creatures and forced to divest themselves of clothing before the biting constructs can be removed. The Voxcaster, however, is saved. The final Voxcaster is installed. The binary prayers flow through the tomb, filling both real space and the local noosphere with the words of workshop, exalting the Omnissiah and the Creed of Mards. The unholy lyre of the alien now rings to the words of the Omnissiah. Epigrams of Saint Eucelstis 3.89. Protect the shield of the mind, and the body will be shielded thereby. The Necron can strike at our minds as well as our bodies, and we must protect both. In this, Lector Dogmatis, I agree with you. I hope we're of the same mind in other matters too, Megos. Our exploration of Silver Tenebris should be executed with a view to the destruction of all traces of the alien. I have not yet decided if we should commit such extremes, Videx. I feel multiple emotional prerogatives as well as logical analyses, all competing for primacy in my neurovolts. Our mission here may not be as simple as you think. Just be ready to make the right choice when the time comes, Megos. Recall the words of Fabricator General Plutonus. The eyes of the Omnissiah are ever upon us. Videx is a pious man's pious man, yes. That's one way to put it. Litany of the Electromancer. Scan 12 Necrons. The next 2 attacks will ignore all armor. Let our knowledge be as a lantern in the dark, and our enemies shall burn in its light. Blessings of the Omnissiah. Gain 3 cognition points. Another new canticle. Taming the Machine Spirit. Max the Machine Spirit of all weapons. Raising their voices in binaric praise. The disciples of the Machine God bolster their spirits with the surety of iron. All pretty good. And hey, we unlocked Kepra. You can do missions for her now as well. Sweet. What's the reward? Skitari Ranger? Gain an additional Tech Priest? I think we might be doing this one next. As much as I want that Volkite Blaster. To the cohort screen! Oh, and look, yes, we've got Skitari Vanguard now. With their taser goads, I think. That might be what they're armed with. I'm not sure, actually. No, that's the Skitari Vanguard Alpha. That's just a regular one. That's actually better, in some ways. Cool. Upgrade. Machine Spirit attacks deal +2 damage. That's pretty sweet, actually. Because it's quite easy to get those Phosphor Blasters up to Enraged Machine Spirit mode. So I shall take it. Marvellous! We also have a free augment slot now. I don't think I can have any more guns, sadly. So what else should we have? That's not terrible. Yeah, actually, let's have that. There we go. What was this? Omnispecs. Yeah, there we go. That could be useful. A useful little debuff for certain enemies. Meanwhile, our Lex Mechanic here, / Tech Auxilium. Collect all cognition points from one source. Yes, let's have that. That is good. More cognition farming for the win. And we shall give you... don't know, actually. Curatio Claw, maybe Omnispecs, Powerfield Generator. Have the Curatio Mechadendra. I don't really want to have something that, you know, that consumes cognition points, because that goes completely against the whole idea of giving him a Volkite Blaster eventually. So, right, let's go do this one. It is free healing. It has a cooldown of three turns or rounds or whatever, though, which is a bit, you know, a bit rubbish. But it's something. It's something to fill the slot with. I have these weird extra slots that I don't need at the moment, mostly because we haven't unlocked any decent weapons. Because a lot of the decent weapons have like they take up multiple slots. So. But yes, this one's a must-have. Skitari Rangers and additional Tech Priests. Yes, please. What's this? Subdomina Kepras, Kepra's has... what? Subdomina Kepra has requested aid in taking the pressure off her Skitari troops. Collapsing key areas of the Tomb of Acropis will hinder enemy movement and stop them from overwhelming the Skitari. Very well. Manarius and Jeremiah, and fuck it, why not? We'll have a Skitari Vanguard as well. And the rest can be servitors. Also, Canticles. Count of the Craft. I'll replace you with the top tier one. And this one? Yeah, that one. Actually, no, we don't need that now. Love that one. We may not end up using any of them, to be fair, but hey. Deploy. You do not relish this mission, Subdomina Kepra. I ascertained this from your pupil dilation and nervous system stress levels. Even in victory, the men and women on the ground suffer, but that is not something I imagine troubles a Magos. Some tech priests choose to excise the emotional centers of their brains, especially when they reach the rank of Magos. I did not. I have fought under plenty of Magi who had no emotion at the loss of men and women in combat. I am glad to know that I'm not doing that again. I am capable of quarantining my emotions in my neurovaults and choosing to experience them if they are beneficial. I am not ruled by them, but I am not ignorant of them either. That is why casualty rates on missions under my command are 11.7% below the average. I'll take that as a good omen. Subdomina Kepra, how goes your attempts of establishing a foothold on Silverton Empress with our main forces? Operations in the Tomb of Acropis are continuing, Magos, but the enemy is pressing our perimeter hard. It is impossible to explore the tomb if all my troops are tied up keeping themselves from being overrun. I see. The enemy is aware of our presence. It seems like it. They're not just attacking at random, the Necrons are exerting pressure at key points, hoping we will falter. Logic demands a response. Ignoring this predicament invites defeat. Your solution? With your help, collapse the tomb on them first. Does the Blackstone get refunded if the Skitari make it back in one piece? I think possibly, yeah. I forget exactly. Yeah, I made a community page post, Dorwin. I suggest you turn on the notifications for those of you who have not done so already. But I made a community post thing on YouTube that should have popped up in your feed, although I can imagine it might not have, because YouTube has always been shite at making videos and things pop up in people's feeds when they want them to. But I posted a thing about it. I've had like really nasty flu for the last week or two. I'm just now getting over it, so that's why you haven't seen any videos. Once the key points are blocked, the Necrons will be funneling into our crossfires. They'll spend a lot more lives testing our defenses. I'm not certain the Necrons can be accurately said to have lives. Well, whatever they have, they're going to lose a lot of them. Right. So that's where we want to get to. Let's go this way. Not commonly used or talked about part of YouTube, which is annoying, frankly, because it's probably one of the best ways of immediately updating people on a situation without having to actually upload a fucking video. The explosive charge is put in place, but minuscule Necron scarab constructs emerge from apertures in the walls, evidently intent on devouring the explosives before they can go off. So close to a year and worth it as always. Thanks, Masman. I appreciate it, my dude. Thank you. 11 months in a row. Cheers, man. Yeah, I like the Necron logic here. Can't detonate the explosives if you eat the explosives first. Just tapping a finger on your forehead there. Explosive haste. Hurry the setting of the explosives so they are ready before the scarabs can do any damage. Bug extermination. Destroy the scarabs before setting the explosives. Cork the vents. Block the apertures to prevent any more scarabs emerging. Let's try that. The cohort use sealant compounds to fill in the holes from which the tiny scarabs are scuttling. The trooper who elects to perform this deed suffers dozens of small bites as the scarabs try to devour him. But thankfully their attentions are taken off the explosives long enough for them to be successfully set. Huzzah! Several Necron skulls are carved into the walls of this chamber, all arranged looking at a central pedestal holding up a globe. Oh man, Death Trap Dungeon flashbacks, anybody? No Xenos tech for us. Move quickly through the chamber without paying its grotesque decorations any mind. Inspect the globe. Check the globe in the center of the room. It may be of significance to the Necrons. Examine the faces. Scrutinize the Necron faces on the walls. Yes. The eyes of the Necron heads appear to be hollow. On closer inspection, each conceals a weapon muzzle. The cohort watches for signs of a booby trap and note a subtle pressure plate in the floor around the globe. They move on with a new understanding of Necron cunning. +2 cognition points. Stab the dwarf and laugh, yeah. Warning, our presence has been detected. We have a glyph! This panel controls a heavy door leading to a treasure room. Damn, which one? I think it was this one, maybe? Yes! No. Never mind. I got it wrong. Balls. Alright, this way. Fascinating. Could this be some event of the distant history of the Necron race? I've heard rumors of such such a mythology. I can understand why they communicate in binary. It's much easier. I have heard such rumors of such a mythology among the theories about the Necrons, but confirming it could be a breakthrough. On the wall of this chamber is inscribed a complex design resembling a star map, but the stars are depicted being consumed by ill-defined entities of swirling light and shadow. Those would be the Catan, but we don't know that. Erase the records, obliterate the stele. It is a relic of a Xenos mythology, and hence blasphemous. I'm sorry, guys. The flesh is weak. Particularly when it's got a cough. Record the description in pictograms, but spend no more time here than necessary, or examine to stop to thoroughly examine the inscriptions for information that a pictograph would miss. It's gonna cause the Necrons to awaken a bit more, but it might get us something. Be thou wary of the works of the alien, for their presence is poison and their every word deceit. Galathamorians 94:3. Mark those words well, Magos. As the cohort approaches the inscriptions, their rad tags flare red, indicating an unexpectedly high radiation level. They rapidly withdraw from the chamber, having narrowly avoided contamination from the strange images. Ah, Necron initiative decreased. That's interesting. So that does actually help us. Extra Necrons in battle, yeah. Chastisement of the menials on the Cestus Metallicon will follow. Failure of maintenance observations inexcusable. The detonator of this charge appears to be a dud. Some menial must have neglected to perform the required anti-corrosion rites. Repair. Attempt to replace the corroded parts of the charge with the cohort's tech knowledge. Use force. Detonate the explosive charge with gunfire. Replace. Use a replacement detonator in the hope that the whole batch is not defective. Oh, gosh. Alright, fine. This one. The cohort replaces the detonator with basic tech rights. However, when the charge goes off, the detonator proves to have been poorly calibrated, resulting in an explosion that flashes out of the target chamber with a tremendous din. The explosion is even louder than normal and must have alerted nearby Necrons to the cohort's position. Crap! Stream nagging for anyone else? I would imagine probably not, because I don't have any dropped frames, Ashlyn, sorry. On that note, actually, BT OpenReach came around today and just replaced a whole fuckload of cables. Like, loads and loads of them. So, hopefully our rain problems might actually finally be solved now. Oh, hello. A whole shitload of scarabs. Survive 4 rounds. Ooh, crumbs. Alright, let's have a vanguard. Damn, alright. One damage. One damage. Need cognition around here I can grab. There, we'll have that. Now I shall smack you with the axe. We have the Omnispecs. Yeah, I can't use it anyway. Oh, scan? Alright, you can scuttle off around here and scan that next turn. Scutari Vanguard! Radium Carbine. Why can't I shoot anything? There we go. Oh, sweet. Not bad. Harvest a bit more cognition. And then go and smack him in the face. Basically. Is anyone to heal? He needs a bit of healing. But I'm not close enough. There we go, Scarab's dealt with. Hey! Oh, hello. Where did you come from? Have a servitor. Okay. That, oh god, it does a lot more damage now with that charged up. Very good. Well, oh, not enough cognition. Balls. Yes, I know, mechanicals. They're a thing that happens. Damn it! Never mind. Just locking up a bit. And you... did some damage there. Nice. Opportunity attack. Yes! Got him down. Sweet, that's what I was hoping would happen. And here again. Yes! Excellent, excellent. 2 puny damage. You'll have to get up earlier in the morning than that, mate. And the other one. And finish him. What the heck? How is he not down? Grab it. Oh. That's why. Let's just slap you. Bye. You teleport back to the tomb world. Okay, slap him. Move this way. Nick that cognition. And pew pew! Critical. Sweet. Oh, just to be really super annoying, go stand between them. Now I get attacks of opportunity on both of them! Hey, good old radium carbine. Why are the videos of your thief stream not present on your Twitch history? Because they're really old. Twitch deletes old streams after a while. I think it depends on whether or not you're like a subscriber as well, I think, but like after a certain period, like I think it's like maybe a couple of months maximum, Twitch deletes the old archives. So this is why I upload them to my Sorcerer Dave live YouTube channel. Taking a beating, this tech priest here, I must admit. But that's fine. Go grab that cognition. And then run over here. And then use your servo skull to harvest that cognition. Very good. Finish him off. Put a shot into him. Job's a good one. Oh, even more of them. Taking the mickey here, Necrons. You know what? We don't need any more servitors. We're good. He's not going to like this. Pew! Half health in one shot. That's what happens when you're all charged up. The machine spirit is pissed. Let's do it. Max machine spirit. Woohoo! Harvest that. And then we can scuttle over here. Ah, shit, I should have stopped by that on my way through. Egypt. Never mind. Hello. Gotcha. Oh yeah, we need to finish that guy off. Still tanking more shots. More cognition. Out of range. Nah. Damn it! Didn't do anything. Screw you, man. Oh, I should have shot that instead. I am a dumbass. Alright, just move back over there. Oh, actually. Go there and get some cognition while you're at it. Sweet. Now you can slap him. Executed. The servitor swagger, yeah. He's got that Morrowind strut going on, hasn't he? Right, let's have that. Let's also have that. Eat charged machine spirit, Necron scum. There we do. There we go. That did it. No threat remaining, finally. The last demolition charge brings down another section of the tomb. The most heavily used routes around the tomb are now cut off, and the Necrons will be forced to fight on Skitarii terms from now on. The servants of the Omnissiah will live now, who would otherwise die, Magos. My thanks for sending your tech priest to the aid of my troops. We will profit nothing on this world if our troops on the ground cannot keep the tombs open until we can ascertain the threat they contain. It is simple logic, Subdomina. Maybe, but nevertheless, thank you. Very few Skitari have much reason to expect a tech priest to come to their aid so directly. We are used to being disposable. My emotional cores return dismay and anger whenever a Skitari is described as disposable. No one is disposable so long as they do the Omnissiah's work. Thus it is written. And yeah, I think we got that Blackstone refunded because our Skitari Alpha, or Skitari Vanguard, sorry, did not in fact die. He was also a badass. I mean, holy shit. He did a lot of damage with that gun of his. Oh yeah, we didn't get a full refund, did we? You're right. But not bad. And now, we've unlocked Skitari Rangers, got some Blackstone, and gained an additional Tech Priest, which is really good. And we have the Litany of Life. Chant of the Remorseless Fist. The next attack will break 2 physical armor. Tutelage of Momentum. Plus 5 meters movement for 1 round. Also good. We're unlocking canticles like crazy. And we've unlocked these 2 as well. Sweet. I like it. To the cohort screen. Magos Leonardus. Alright. Well, I think I did say I wanted to make one of them a Secutor, didn't I? Alright, yeah, now we've got some ranged troops. This could actually be pretty useful, so yeah. You are going to be a Secutor. Alright, very good. Welcome to the team, Leonardus. Not much I can do with you right now, honestly, but hey. You've got a gun and an axe, and that's fine. And a servo skull. Meanwhile... yeah, we got the Vanguard, and we got the Ranger. Reveal enemy statistics when dealing damage, that's nice. And he does energy damage, whereas he does physical. Nay bad. Nay bad. Skitari Vanguard are quite funny. On the tabletop, they have this rule, basically, because Skitari Vanguard are constantly irradiated. Because they use radium carbines. Enemy units that they get into close combat with have like a -1 to their toughness or something because of all the radiation coming off these guys. Needless to say, Skitari Vanguard don't live for very long. The Rangers are generally seem to be agreed among AdMech players to be the better option, to be fair. So most of mine will probably be Rangers. However, I do like the Skitari Vanguard. Just because of that hilarious, weird, bizarre fluff behind them, and also the fact that their models look pretty cool. I have to say, in this game, actually, it's a pretty good representation of what the models actually look like on the tabletop as well. They really do look just about exactly like that. So, hey-ho! Now then, about that Volkite blaster. Explore the remnants of an excavation into the tomb of Acropis, made by the original Imperial settlers on Silver Tenebris, and recover any archaeotech they left behind for Tech Acquisitor Scaevola. Alright, Jeremiah, Minarius, Leonardus, and Lava Vanguard, and a Ranger. And another Vanguard, because why not? And our Canticles will have the better Litany of Life, I think. Max Machine Spirit was nice. I don't know whether something else might be better, though. I'd like to preserve these guys' lives if I can a bit, actually, so I'll take an extra Litany of Life, the lower ranked one. And we'll have Litany of the Electromancer. If evidence from Tomb of Acropis equals true, original settlers of Silver Tenebris achievements as follows. Excavate tomb / explore tomb / die. Those doomed souls' chances were never greater than 0. They were ignorant. They had made their homes atop a nest of necrons. Antiquity of settlement equals fortunate. Calculating benefit. Settlers possessed archaeotech lost to Mechanicus cannon. Retrieval required. Search excavation / bones / location of death. And this archaeotech, should it exist, will aid our mission on this planet as well as enhance your personal collection. Statement agreement. The original excavation entrance has long since collapsed. To get at it, we'll have to go in through the front door. Combat data acquisition opportunity detected. I'm detecting an excellent chance for good men to die lining your cabinet of curiosities, Scaevola. Error. Damn not found. Enough, Kepra. Secure our team a route through the Tomb of Acropis. Scaevola, pray this expedition has the results you crave. Scaevola's awesome, yep. Oh, death marks, right. Lifeform's sudden appearance on all specs unexpected. Diagnosis, possible tech, form list, teleportation, warp travel, unknown. This is no form of warp travel. The telepathica aboard has reported no disturbance near the planet the whole time we've been here. Alternate dimension shift, teleportation, unknown. Teleportation tech too volatile, no power signs, no lightning, no singe marks. Tomb too deep for teleportation. Alternate dimension shift, unknown. We know there is only the immaterium in real space. Scriptures have written about only those for these 2 millennia. Noting conclusion, unknown, logged, disappointment. Desire for answers must be fulfilled. Right. Yeah, I'll do, I suppose. Yay! Cognition farming continues. This is a really small map. Right, death marks are annoying and also amusing, and you're about to see why. Or not? Oh, there it is, phase shift. Boom. Hello! Now it's an Overwatch. Means that if you try to attack it now, it'll shoot you in the face, I believe. Oh wait, no, I think it's targeted a dude, and if he attacks on moves, he'll get shot. So I think I need to biff this guy in the face to get him out of Overwatch. There we go. Or to indeed kill him completely. That works too. But hey. Scanning time. Nice. Oh, hello. No, it couldn't have been that simple, could it? Oh, hey. Just, you know, little opportunity to shill here, but, you know, if you were to, say, become a Twitch subscriber to my channel, you wouldn't have to watch the ads. Just saying. If I had the option, I'd turn them off, like, for everybody, but I'm not allowed to do that, so... Like, the ads on Twitch do not earn me, like, peanuts. It's ridiculous. It really doesn't support me, though, that's the thing. Like, I earn probably, like, 50p a month from ad views on Twitch. That's how few you get. Like... Ad revenue only works when you've got several thousand people watching. Works for YouTube because I get about several thousand people watching my videos each time. But here on Twitch, I got like 65 people watching right now. That probably equates to like, I don't know, a couple of pennies, literally, if that. Obviously, the reason Twitch does it is because, you know, individually for a streamer like me, it's nothing. But if Twitch monetizes with ads, you know, literally every channel on their website, they make a significant amount of dosh for it. Is that worth doing? Yes. Ah, not in range. Never mind. That's okay. Damn it! Gave him a 50% chance to miss, and he... Actually, that was the wrong guy. It's that one with the debuff. My bad. Right. Healing. And shooting. Didn't like that, did he? Nah. Tesco ramen is on us. I appreciate it. What are you doing? Oh, it's repairing them. Fucking scarabs. Ugh. Irritating creatures. Destroy them. There we go. hefty amount of damage we just did there. Let's just make it even heftier. Hooray! Also, get a bit of cheeky cognition while we're at it. Cognition for the cognition throne. Right. Pew pew. Did nothing. Annoying. How about we use a canticle? Hey. This'll do some more damage. Yeah, there we go. And now I hit you with my axe. Again, thanks to attack of opportunity. Love it. No, you're gonna affect me with acid, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah, get. Am I going to stream Conan Exiles ever again? Never is an extremely long time. But I don't have any immediate plans to. Scuttle over here and scan that. Well, based on the fact that the mission has not yet ended, I can only assume... Oh, no, never mind. I was about to say there's going to be another platform popping up, but I guess not. High-value target profile updated. Subject Lord Acropis marked for elimination. Opportunity addendum. Additional warform data acquisition potential. A mural depicting Lord Acropis dominates the wall of this chamber. He is depicted at the head of a grand procession of Necrons, all carrying the implements of an astronomer. Astronomer? Astronomer. Aloft. Invocation. Enact a ritual of purity and steadfastness before the mural to counter its corruptive power and express the superiority of mankind. Inspection. Take comprehensive pict grabs of the mural for Scaevola to examine. Iconoclasm. Destroy the mural. Its knowledge could prove more dangerous than useful. This one. I like this one. Enact a ritual of purity and steadfastness before the mural to counter its corruptive power and express the superiority of mankind. The cohort kneels before the mural, defying the alien work with the libations of thrice-blessed machine oil and the utterance of binary devotion codes. Though the process takes a long time, it leaves the cohort heartened and renewed in their faith. We got 2 cognition points, which is actually pretty sweet, so... Alright. Right, where's our objective here? Let's go this way. Presence has been detected. The remnants of a long, terrified imprisonment in the tomb can be seen in this chamber. Tally marks scratched on the walls indicate a long passage of time, as do traces of a makeshift fireplace and shelter. One of the colonists' expeditions was trapped here for a long time, contemplating his own demise. Tally marks. Examine the tally marks, understand the passage of time. They were trapped in here. Examine the remains of the makeshift shelter to learn more about whoever tried to survive here. Examine the fire pit. Maybe there's something to learn from these cinders. Buried in the ashes of the pit are the crumbling pages of a journal. The fragments that can be read describe an attack by what you recognize as a Necron warrior, along with the process of the opening of its sarcophagus and the observations about the technology survivors observed in the tomb. Got some blackstone, which is always good. The remains of a small handmade altar stand in front of a Necron sarcophagus in this chamber. The altar must have been made by one of the lost settlers, but the implications of its location are troubling. Document this strange sight to help the understanding of the settlers' actions. Pull the altar apart, it could represent the desperate humans worshipping the Necrons. Examine the nearby area for the remains of the altar's builder. The cohort locates a skeletal corpse in a neighbouring chamber. It still has an excavator's trowel embedded in its neck, suggesting it was murdered by another human. Perhaps the Necron worshipper was killed by a fellow trapped settler. The potential for the tombs to drive men insane is strikingly illustrated by the find. Okay. Cohort comes across a skeletal corpse of a long-dead settler on top of an ornate coffin-like sarcophagus. Though it is partly scattered across the chamber, the body is still intact enough to look like it died draped over the coffin. Open the coffin to loot it for anything of value. Warily search the chamber. Who knows what killed this unfortunate soul? Examine the skeletal corpse. This one. The cohort scouts around the chamber searching for hidden dangers. They find a cache of grave goods, including strange Necron sculptures in rare materials. However, they are also glimpsed by the eyes of Necrons lurking near the sarcophagus chamber as they search. And we have a glyph. Heavy door leading to treasure. Fuck, I don't know. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Final battle of the mission. Loads of scarabs. Holy shit. Scan or destroy. Find any archaeotech from the previous excavation, scan or destroy. Interesting. Very interesting. There's a lot of stuff in here. Coffin-like sarcophagus, yeah? Coffins and sarcophagi are separate things. In case you were unaware. Those turrets worry me. Thank you for the cognition. Now I shall shoot something. Well, I would have done, but everything's out of range. Damn it. Also could just use a cognition point to move over here. And then move over here. This might be a bad idea, to be honest. Suspect activity detected. What? What the? Okay, that's not on, frankly. Check priest smash. We're gonna have to delay your turn. Because he can't do anything at the moment. Actually, move that. Get me some damn cognition. Pew pew. More pew pew. Man, I need better weapons. This is killing me right now. Come on, game. Give me some decent rewards. I have line of sight on him. That did not do as much damage as I hoped it would. Oh well. I've got no more cognition to pinch either. That's very annoying. I'll hold on to that servo skull for now then. Ooh, very nice. Will that finish him? Yes, it will. Abundance of scarabs will become a problem eventually. Reanimate one turn faster. Oh joy. Ouch! That's not good. Ah, can the turrets only shoot in a straight line? That is interesting. That is very interesting. Alright. Hey, you destroyed it. Or something. Heal yourself a little bit. And hide behind here. Alright. Oh, sweet. Get wrecked. Get radiumed! Let's finish you off. Goodbye. Now hopefully you as well. Yes! Purge the filthy Xenos. Purge them with holy fire. I should have shot the scarabs instead. That was stupid. Oh well. Right. Yeah. Is there anything I can shoot? I'll just finish that. There we go. Something productive was achieved. Yeah. Alright, just shoot that. Yeah, here comes the healing. Very irritating. Let's just kill this thing. If we can. Not looking overly likely right now. No. Alright. Well. Grab some cognition from there. Go ahead and scan this. Oh, look at all the blackstone we've gotten for this mission. That is nuts. That is absolutely bonkers. We didn't like that. Annoyingly, I can't shoot those scarabs because this guy's in the way. Bash his face in. There we go. Let's move you there. You can finish him off. There we go. It's so fun playing with lots of Skitarii like this, I must admit. Oh, nice. Sniped. I love that it tells you before you make the move what you'll be able to shoot at before you actually make the move. It's a small thing, but I wish things like XCOM had that. A number of times you move into a position thinking you can get a shot and it turns out actually you can't. Dead. $86 Blackstone. I'm getting so much Blackstone on this mission. It's amazing. I love it. I don't know if I have to kill all these turrets to end the mission, but I'm going to operate under the assumption that I probably do. Second XCOM has it, but it's too subtle for something that important. Ah, I see. I'll admit I haven't played much of XCOM 2 at all, because every time I play XCOM 1 or 2 of the new XCOMs, I always tend to find myself going to play Xenonauts or old school XCOM instead. Especially since you've got open XCOM these days. Sure, go there. Really? I can't shoot anything? Oh, it's because this guy's in the way, isn't it? How irritating. Alright. Interesting. Hmm. Very interesting. I mean, yeah, like that soundtrack rejig they did was cool and all, but to be honest, it's not like the only reason I played old XCOM was for the soundtrack. They're gonna have to do more than just throw a few nice remastered tunes my way to actually make me play the game, unfortunately. Smacks a lot of when Bethesda kind of cynically decide to throw lots of very Morrowind themed shit in their games to make the old fans Well, basically to give fan service, essentially, is what it is, you know. Like the whole Dragonborn DLC for Skyrim, like, it was fun, but let's not pretend Bethesda weren't going out of their way with that DLC to be like, oh, you know that all that Morrowind nostalgia you have? Let's milk that, shall we? He can really get around now he's got those spider legs, can't he? I think that's crazy. Look at that. Sure. Actually get around the side so I can shoot him with other dudes if I need to. Positioning. Tactics. These are things that technically exist. Let's heal you, shall we? The Skitari should be able to finish him off. Yep. Oh god, yeah, all the live-action Disney films. Jesus, is that the height of cynical, like, remastering of old shit just to milk money from people? Like, wow. Nobody has any original ideas. I know, well, I mean, like... What's the point in having original ideas when you can just remake something and make billions, right? Sad, but it's the way it is. Every time someone tries to do something new and maybe a little bit experimental and interesting, most of the time people just shit on it. Like... that Mortal Engines movie by Peter Jackson and crew, for example. People are just loving shitting on that, and it's not even out yet. Expectations equals met. Acquired. Augmentations. Archaeotech. Insight. Conclusion follows. A rare haul of lost technology. Such delights seem a trivial use of my tech priest, Scaevola. Be not churlish / obtuse / small-minded, Magos. If lost equals true, then regain. Enumeration of sacred duties. Reacquisition of lost technology / relearning of forgotten knowledge / return to humanity. That's a lot of fucking Blackstone we got on that mission. Made a few nice mission decisions there. Gave us loads of Blackstone on top of what we already had. And we have unlocked the Volkite Blaster, finally! Praise be to the Omnissiah. We've done it. They need the Electromancer. Next 4 attacks will ignore all armor. That is pretty sweet, actually. Blessings of the Omnissiah. Gain 6 cognition points. Oh my god. Shroud Psalm. The next attack will break 2 energy armor. That doesn't make sense. Shroud Psalm is supposed to be like a protective thing. At least that's how it is on the tabletop. And use Shroud Psalm on the tabletop, it gives you a cover save. In this, it's like an attacking thing. That's very odd. Best part about it is they don't have to pay any royalties to people who made the original. That's true. And look, it works. Like you look at, like, the trailer for the new Lion King remake thing, and you go to like the comments underneath it or whatever, whether you're on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and it's all just loads of people gushing, going, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" I'm just sitting here like, they are playing you like fiddles, people. Having said that, it's got James L. Jones in it, which, you know, is always a win, even in a movie like that. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, BG. Like people watch one trailer, knowing nothing about the story or anything like that, and basically just decide to throw it in the bin immediately. You know, I've actually read the Mortal Engines books, or at least I read the first one, I think, very, very, very long time ago. I forgot, so long ago, in fact, that I forgot that those books existed until I saw the trailer for the movie, and I was like, holy shit, I remember this. And they were actually really good. It was really cool. Like, it was very Fallout or 40k-esque in terms of the fact that it was verging on deliberate parody and silliness in a dystopian post-apocalyptic future. Kind of very tongue-in-cheek, kind of very amusing story set in a very bizarre kind of universe. And I don't know if they'll do it justice with the film. I don't know. But I'm willing to give it a chance. Because for one thing, it's something that's at least kind of new. You know, basing your film off a book is not the same as remaking an old film, in my opinion. That's you know, there's degrees of separation there. But yeah, I'm willing to give it a go. Besides, Peter Jackson bought a lot of goodwill from me with his "They Shall Not Grow Old" documentary as well. So. Dude is in my good books at the moment. Just gonna be Lion King again. Don't really. Yeah, that's the thing about it, right? It's like they're not even trying to do anything particularly new or interesting with it. It's literally just the same film, but in live action, as far as I can see. Which is just, oh, I don't know. It's odd to me. I'd rather watch the animation, to be honest with you. The old Disney animations had something going for them. It was the fact that they had really awesome animation in them, you know. Although I'm still a Sword in the Stone / Robin Hood fanatic. Those are my top two favourite Disney movies. If we're not counting Pixar, of course. What's that documentary? I don't know if it's available outside of the UK, but it was on the telly very recently. It made its debut on BBC Two, I think it was, a few weeks ago. And it was basically It was basically Peter Jackson and co. basically took a shitload of old footage of World War One from the Imperial War Museum here in the UK's archives, and they remastered it and colorized it and added sound and voice acting and loads of shit like that, and basically modernized all of this original footage to make it look like it was filmed literally like 5 or 10 years ago. It's actually amazing. It's really, really, really cool, and even a little bit spooky, in fact. You can see the trailer for it on YouTube. You can go look it up. I've watched it 3 times now. Like I watched it once on the TV, and I watched it twice on iPlayer after the fact, because it's just absolutely spellbinding. It's like a freaking time machine. It really is, because it's not like. It isn't like reenactors. It isn't like reenactors, guys, you know, dressed up, like, reenacting the past. It's the actual real past. It's real archival footage from World War One. There are real soldiers in those films. And you can see and hear them now as if it was filmed like yesterday. It is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Sure, it'll be released in Australia. I would imagine so. It's probably already out in New Zealand, because obviously, you know, Peter Jackson, everybody from his crew are from New Zealand, so I'd be surprised if it wasn't out there as well. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I seriously, seriously recommend watching it if you can get your hands on it. And if not that, just watch the damn trailer on YouTube. It's like 3 minutes long, and even then, it's like, whoa. Yeah, there's another. I know. Yeah, there is another Toy Story. I'll reserve judgment on it. I will. Part of me is like, oh, for Christ's sake, really another Toy Story? But then I remind myself that actually every Toy Story to date has been good. So, okay. I'm putting a lot of trust in you, Pixar, but don't fuck this up. But if you make it good, fair play. It's being released in the US on December 17th, 2 weeks from now. Awesome. I highly recommend watching it when it's released. I don't think World War One gets a lot of press in the United States. At least that's my impression. So I don't know how well publicized it will be. But if you can find it, watch it. Seriously. It's one of the greatest documentaries I've ever watched in my entire life. It's one of the greatest films I've ever watched in my entire life, for that matter, actually. Right. Should we spend some of our mad piles of Blackstone cash? Leonardus, my dude, let's get you some upgrades. Fancy chest armor. And the Volkite blaster, yes. Well, you're not going to have the Volkite blaster, mate, but someone else will. Someone else who's our Lex mechanic. This is good as well, we'll have that. Right, you can have another Phosphor Blast pistol for lack of something better currently. And Mr. Lex Mechanic, dude, let's unplug your Phosphor Blasters and give you a Volkite. Hell to the yes! That thing is monstrous. It's so good. It costs you 3 cognition points to fire it, which is huge. But it deals 9 to 11 energy damage. And if you get the machine spirit activated on it, it costs no cognition points to fire at all. So, favoured during the Great Crusade before the Terran bolt gun drove them into decline, Volkite weapons impart so much thermodynamic energy to the target that those under their shimmering rays simply combust. Big bada boom, yeah, it's it's a good gun. But this is why you need a guy who can farm cognition like mad, just to be able to fund the firing of the thing. I'll upgrade you. Yep. Should we upgrade the Dominus again? Sure, I'll give you the head upgrade. Huzzah! Oh yes, I forgot you can use the servo skull to deal damage to enemies, the Dominus. That is rather good. You know what? I don't know if this is a great idea, but let's try it out anyway. We'll give you a Volkite blaster as well. This might be a bad idea, to be completely honest, but I'm willing to give it a go. In fact, I'll tell you what. How about we unplug the Omnispecs and give you a backup Phosphor Blast Pistol as well. There we go. Oh yes, nah. And we'll upgrade you as well. What do we want to give you? Let's give you the legs upgrade. Extra movement is seriously good in this game. Very nice. Back in heat, yeah. Should we unplug that and give you another extra Phosphor Blaster as well? I say yes to this plan. You're doing just fine for now. I could take out both of his phosphors and give him a Volkite as well, but we'd never be able to farm enough CP to make that work. I don't think anyway, so we're going to leave it for now. They're looking good though, our dudes here. Looking snazzy. Alright. What else do we have here? Arc pistols. Ah yes, that has a kind of chain lightning effect on them, those do. Refractor field generator, quite useful actually, that. They're quite immortals, eh? And we've got protection detail, cognition gauge max size increased by +1, that's really nice, and Skitari Ranger Alpha as well. And we've got radiation burns. Incendine Combuster! Hello! 4 cognition it requires to use this fucker. Spray fire in a cone area attack. It deals 8 to 10 physical damage to targets in an area. Burn deals 2 damage over 3 turns. Holy shit! Talk about the nuclear option. I'll tell you what, we'll go for that. We will, but not before I've got another cognition gauge increase. I freaking love Adeptus Mechanicus weapons and stuff. They're always so mad. Incendine Combuster. Like, like in the fluff, right? Like, all the other armies of the Imperium, they have the bog basic stuff, you know, like they've got your bolt guns, your las guns, las cannons, heavy bolters, blah 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 blah. Like virtually, like Sisters of Battle, Imperial Guard, Space Marines, they all have the kind of roughly the same kind of equipment, just in varying amounts. And then you've got the AdMech, and the AdMech have all sorts of weird and wonderful weapons like arc rifles and radium carbines and incendine combustors and volkite culverins and plasma calivers and all of this stuff. And the reason is because the AdMech basically hoard all of the good technology to themselves. They don't let anyone else play with it. Which is why they have, for example, things like neutron lasers instead of shitty las cannons. Fire good. Yeah, that's actually a really funny line of dialogue in this. I don't think we encountered it this time around, but there's I think it's Videx, this guy. He comments on how primitive the Necrons are because they don't seem to have any flamethrower weapons, so therefore they must be technologically inferior. Because they're not using any flamethrowers. Interesting conclusion, yeah. Alright, so we'll do this one. What do we got? Immortals, Flayed Ones, Acanthrites, Necron Warriors. Alright, dudes, welcome aboard. Let's bring some Skitarii along for the ride as well, since we've got plenty of spare Blackstone. Yes, we want that. And frankly, I'm going to take that one as well, because then we can do maximum Volkite spam. That's the plan anyway. We have a problem, Magos. It is doubtful you would seize my attention with such alacrity. Were they going to plan, Subdomina? One of my Skitarii units is escorting an Oculus topographist. These words, man. Topographist to produce fuller interior scans of the tomb of Agrelek. They have become bogged down by Necron attacks and are cut off. They will surely perish if they do not get immediate support. And the Oculus? It will be lost too. And yes, I am aware that it is worth a lot more than any of my soldiers' lives. The last communications from the Skitarii said they were under heavy fire and trying to prepare a defensive position. Since then, they've gone dark. They're either dead, or the architecture of the tomb is interfering with their comms again. Both possibilities reduce the percentage chances of the Oculus topographist being recovered. Which is why I need your tech priests on this, Magos. We have to move with speed and a hell of a lot of firepower. That I can supply. We advance immediately. Yes, Magos. Thank you, Magos. Right. That's where we need to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we want to go this way, I think, if we want to be quick about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And we do want to be quick about it because... Unless 1, 2, 3, 4... that's the same. We do want to be quick about it because we don't want to... We want to keep the awaken level down as much as possible. Not a good sign for it to have become separated. Perhaps it was damaged by enemy fire. In any case, it might contain some useful data. A malfunctioning servo skull drifts around this chamber, trailing sparks. It looks like the one that accompanied the unit escorting to the Oculus topographer. Topographica. Ugh. Secure. Search the chamber before trying to recover the servo skull. Enemies may be nearby. Retrieve. Extract the data medium chip and leave the skull itself behind. It may have become contaminated with Xenos data. Acquire. Recover the skull, servo skull, and return it to the Cestus Metallicum for recycling. Oh dear. The servo skull proves rather more alert and mobile than it first appeared, and zooms around the chamber erratically, evading capture. Finally, it spins out and shatters against a wall into dozens of bone fragments. The fruitless pursuit takes up time the cohort can ill afford to have wasted. The Necron initiative has increased. That's not good. It's a marvellous mental image, but that's not good. Alright, we have a glyph. Ah, I think we've done this enough times now that it's telling us what the right one is, I hope. Yes! Marvellous. Presence has been detected. Be wary, Magos. Remember admonitions Mechanicae 3:16. Seek not the words of the Xenos, lest they infect us with blasphemy. A Voxcaster unit somewhere in the tomb nearby is broadcasting streams of code, possibly a Necron transmission. This could be a Necron communications device, and destroying it could disrupt their capacity to coordinate their attacks. Eliminate. Find and destroy the device. Exploit. Find the device and attach a spare comms unit to it so the transmission can be decoded and examined on the Cestus Metallicum. Or ignore. Ignore the device. It's probably spewing junk code, nothing more. Eliminate! Oh dear. The cohort takes a detour from their path to find the device, a large machine of obvious Necron construction that is increasing in the volume of data it's transmitting. A quick burst of gunfire later, and it's destroyed. Its innards contain valuable materials that can be harvested for use by the rest of the mission. Awakening increased by 2. Plasma Culverin! Hello! Alright, that's a decent trade-off. Oh, that's a beast of a weapon, that is. Fires in a straight line passing through all units. Ooh, that could be absolutely monstrous if you do it onto a bunch of Necrons on a bridge or something. Very nice. It's one of the Oculus Topographica's beacons. It deploys them to help it scan an area. It could already have started mapping the tomb. There could be more nearby if you think it's worth finding them. Deployable beacon lies at an intersection of passageways. The beacon trap. The Necrons might be interested in the beacon too. Booby trap it to punish the Necrons for their inquisitiveness. Forsake for the mission. Do not search for more beacons. The data they might contain is not worth holding up the mission. Forage beacon data. Search for more beacons and recover them. The data within them might be valuable. Let's go for this one. Booby trap it. Except we fucked up, so, oh great. The cohort places a bundle of grenades behind the beacon, primed to detonate when the data port is interfered with. However, a passing Skitari patrol later reports that the beacon gone and the trap dismantled. The cunning Necrons have disabled the trap and taken the beacon and its data. Damn it! Necrons were too smart for my cunning plan. I'd hoped it might reduce their initiative a bit after they got the increase earlier. Never mind. New template detected. Observing. Excitement statement. How glorious the Xenos vary their weapons. Tesla weapon tech. They do not show signs of Promethium flamer tech, which only... this is the one, yeah. They do not show signs of Promethium flamer tech, which only shows their inferior steps in technological advancement. I recall that in Xenos and the Cant version 00101001, the Xenos... Not now, Videx. We've dealt with Immortals for a while now. They're proving to be a worthy threat. Now they have a separate weapon pattern. This is most concerning for our troops, sire. Troops are of little concern. Mission is always priority over bio-life forms. Right. Begin. Right. Let's get some cognition. Actually, let's not. Because I think I have a dude who can harvest all 3 of those in one go. How much longer will I be streaming? This will probably be the last mission. Looking at the clock. Alright. Here we go. Gain 6 cognition. We only have 5 slots, unfortunately, but hey. Volkite time! Time to die. Yeah. And gain cognition. And we'll finish you off with our phosphor thingy. Boop. Volkite for the win! In fact, I'll scuttle over here and bash you with the axe as well for good measure. Enjoy. Yeah, it's you who's got the service goal that can harvest all the cognition in one go, I think, isn't it? Oh, maybe not, actually. Weird. Well, nevertheless. This immortal needs to be dealt with. He's quite nasty, actually. So have a Volkite blaster in the face. Critical! Oh, yes! Okay. Tie those guys up. We can go over there, can we? Yeah, it's 22:59 to be precise on the time though. It's nearly 11. I usually stop around 11. Aha! Stupid scarabs. We just one-shot them. Let's move you there. Double tap you with these. Not like that, did he? Need to remember I've got the command fire ability on him. Ah, yeah. That is why. And then movement reduced. That's why Tesla is annoying as shit. Oh, I shall have some cognition, please. And enjoy. Get wrecked, you stupid immortal. Oh, things is looking up now. Things are coming up on Messiah now we've got Volkite. I love it. Let's move over here and give this guy a smack in the face. Oh, we can't actually, never mind. Already used my axe this turn. You want a Necron army so badly? Well, the good news is they're very easy to paint. I have a Necron army, actually. Once my ad mech are in a place where I'm happy with them, like I've got around 2,500 points of them or so, the project I do after that will be getting my Necrons up to snuff. Because at the minute I have about 1,200 points of Necrons, which is nowhere near enough for a full game, really, unless you're playing a very small one. And it'll be even less if their points go down in chapter approved, which I suspect they might. Yeah, I do have some Necrons, and after I'm done with my ad mech, I will be expanding them a lot. I really, like, a lot. Because I'm a big Necrons fan. I was a Necrons player back in 3rd edition when they first got released as an army. I loved them, and I still love them. I think they're great. Well, hey! Well, the Volkite spam has served us very well this mission. Very well indeed. Yes. Would you like some Volkite as well? You were not one-shotted. I'm disappointed with this, but... oh, look at that. Cognition freedom. I keep forgetting about that as well. Your next weapon attack does not require cognition points to use. Very good, again, if you're spamming Volkite. Or any big weapon like that, frankly. Like, if I get the Incendiing Combustor, it's probably going on this guy. Yeah, they are very easy to paint, and it's very easy to make them look a little bit better as well if you just go for a little bit of extra effort. Like mine, for example, I got a pot of... I do the bog basic silver scheme, like these guys here. This is more or less what I do, although the shoulder pads on mine and the spine, frequently I do those in bronze. But one thing I do with mine is I got myself a pot of Waywatcher Green glaze, and around the eyes, I do the little eye pricks white, and like the tube on the gun here, the main bit there, you use this green translucent plastic which does that for you, but the pipe thing here, you do that white as well. And basically anything that's going to glow green, you paint it white, and then you hit it with the Waywatcher Green, and it basically stains it bright green, and you spill it over a little bit, so around the eye area as well, you paint it with the Waywatcher Green, the glaze. And it gives you an object source lighting effect, so basically it looks like the eyes are glowing, and that light's sort of reflecting off the eyes onto other things. It looks really nice. Damn, you're out of range. You get. There we go. Alright, where are they going to pop up next? Because clearly I've not killed them all yet. Aha! I knew it. Oh, another immortal. Oh, shit, that's not good. That's not good. Volkite does have an impressive range on it, but not quite far enough, unfortunately. Scarabs! Oh, damn. Where did you come from? Oh, yeah, boy. We're getting the Skitari involved now. Oh, only one of them, though. Are they dead? They are dead. Retreat into the corner for now. Part of it wishes I could Overwatch, but that would make the game a lot more passive. So perhaps it's for the best. Damn it. Yeah, it's what these guys said, basically. It's a turn-based strategy game, slightly XCOM-esque. But you control a team of tech priests and their associated minions, like this guy here, as you fight your way through a Necron tomb world and try to prevent it from fully awakening within the time limit. Come on. There we go. I was hoping that might take him down, but never mind. Alright, you get... I shouldn't have positioned them close to each other. Look, you know what's going to happen now? Ugh! That's what's going to happen now. I was a fool! However, you have now revealed yourself. This is a tad better than XCOM. No 80% chance at point blank, yeah. Yeah. A game that's very good in a similar kind of vein that unfortunately I never got around to streaming. I will at some point. I just wasn't in the mood a while ago when it really came out. Is Phantom Doctrine, which is another turn-based strategy type game in the same, I would call it, genre as this. Except that game is a Cold War spy thriller, where you control a team of spies. And that game's particularly interesting because when the combat starts, it's usually because you fucked up the stealth, and then you die really, really fast. Like, it's a turn-based game like this where the combat is not the focus, it's actually more to do with stealth, which makes it very interesting, actually. A turn-based XCOM-ish style thing, except the focus is on stealth rather than combat, I always found quite an interesting idea, and they did a pretty good job with it. I'm happy to say. The annoying thing is that sometimes you get into missions where combat is distinctly unavoidable, and in those situations it really does kind of suck. But you know, that's what it's like running running a spy agency. You know, things do not go according to plan frequently. You ever try Invisible Ink? No. Plus it's got the whole, like, strategic layer to it as well, where you've got a world map and you have a base, which you periodically have to relocate as the enemy tracks you down and tries to figure out where your base is. Because basically you try and gather clues about the enemy, and you have a sort of corkboard screen where you plant clues on the corkboard, and then you draw the like ribbons between them to figure clues out and things like that, and solve cases and things, and identify enemy agents and things like that. And the enemy spy agency, of course, is doing that to you at the same time. So if the enemy manages to capture one of your agents and interrogate them and find out where you're based, you have to like, oh shit, we need to relocate our base right now before we get like fucking KGB up to our eyeballs, and so on. It's really good, actually. It's really good. And sometimes as well, like if your agents get captured or they get their cover blown, you have to go through the process of issuing them a new identity. So they get a new passport, and you can give them a new name, and stuff like that, and change their appearance and what have you. Did I just buff the Skitari? I think I did. Oh, this guy's nearly dead. Hawkeye did a number on him. No, don't kill my Skitari! Damn it, I can't shoot anyone from here. That was a fuck up on my part. Oh well. Right, this will finish the Immortal off. Yes, critical, bye-bye. Oh yeah. Now we're in business. Hi-ho, Silver, away! Did you try the new Vampire Coast faction in Total Warhammer 2? No. I haven't even bought the DLC. I'll level with you. I'm just not interested. I've kind of had all the fun I wanted to have with that game, and it hasn't added any particularly interesting factions with that. But because ultimately, you know, like I've said before, I was never that into Warhammer Fantasy, so you're going to have to do better than the Vampire Coast as a faction to impress me at this point, because I don't even know much about that faction at all, not having not really been into the old fantasy stuff that much. And the game itself is fun, but not so fun that I was willing to keep playing it for another 50 hours. It's still Total War at the end of the day, and I've played enough Total War for a lifetime, frankly, at this point. Is the Oculus Topographis providing data? It is fully functional, although at this stage I can report nothing other than the Tomb of Agrilec is huge. This shall be factored into future missions. Ensure I am apprised of further developments, Subdomina. I mean, they've already covered all the factions I found interesting, right? Orcs, Empire, Britannia, Skaven, Lizardmen, Tomb Kings, vampire counts. All the main ones, you know, they've done them now. Chaos, obviously, as well. So I don't really care at this point. That's the thing, really. If I'm interested in any future Total War games at all, then I'm probably hankering for some more historical Total War at this point. I think, really. And, you know, I enjoyed what I did play of Britannia, although some people reported the game having some serious, like, balance issues and stuff later down the line as you got further into the campaign. So, which is a bit of a shame. But I did actually quite enjoy Britannia, so I do want more. I do want more historical Total War games, and I don't know what I honestly think of that Three Kingdoms thing they're doing, because I can't fucking tell if it's supposed to be a historical thing or a fantasy thing at this point. Yeah, but I think the problem with those factions, some guys, with the exception of Kislev, I don't think any of them... Well, actually, no, Chaos Demons definitely were a thing. But aside from Chaos Demons and Kislev, none of those were ever in the tabletop game. And Kislev were only in the tabletop game very, very, very briefly, from what I vaguely recall. So... Chaos Dwarves and Ogre Kingdoms. Yes, I do remember Chaos Dwarves. Benediction of Omniscience. Next energy attack will deal +3 energy damage. You stack that on a Volkite Blaster for some fun. Ubjao sector located. Whereas the other tombs are sterile, this one is grossly fecund with the union of life and death. The first scouting maniples to enter are overwhelmed by the appalling stench. They walk straight into a charnel house. Biological remains plaster every wall and floor. Some are creatures indigenous to Silver Tenebris, but others are unmistakably human, presumably from the former colonists of St. Eckhart's Hope. Their decay begins instantly as the sealed atmosphere of the tomb is breached. A metallic skittering heralds something even worse waiting in the tomb. This pit of disease and death, even in the mind of a tech priest, is vulnerable before its horror. Yeah, that'll be where the flayed ones live. That'll be where they hang out, I imagine. What do they call it? A charnel realm or something? Charnel dimension? I forget. Any plans for what else you're going to stream this week? Yeah, sure. So we can go over this now as we close out the stream here. Let me just save it before I bloody forget, because sometimes I do. So Wednesday, we're going to be streaming 2 games. That's the plan currently, anyway. I think maybe like an hour and a half of each, or 2 hours of each. We'll see. And those are going to be Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Not necessarily in this order, by the way, but Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, and World in Conflict. So the former is a sort of third-person action-adventure kind of game from back in the day. Even if you've never played Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, you've probably heard the title at least. It was, I think it was originally out on the PlayStation back in the day, and it was at a time when I didn't own a PlayStation, so I never played it, but it is a series of games that is much beloved by a lot of people, and is renowned basically for having an incredibly good story. And I've played like the opening hour or so of the game, just to make sure it works on my PC and everything, when I originally got it on a a GOG sale. And I honestly, I've yet to test whether or not it will actually stream with OBS. That's the thing. If I can get to stream with OBS, we will definitely stream it. If not, we might just end up playing nothing but World in Conflict, which would be a shame. But hey, not because World in Conflict's bad, but because Legacy of Kain Sorcerer is good. So that's one of the games. The other one is World in Conflict, which is a significantly newer game. So I imagine a fair few of you might be at least familiar with it. But World in Conflict is basically a real-time strategy game which obviously had multiplayer, but also had a really good story campaign. And essentially, it was Red Dawn, but it's an RTS. Essentially, that's the gist of it. It's set in the 1980s, and the Soviets invade America. And you play the single-player campaign. That, with the DLC, which I do have for it, you alternate playing between a Soviet character and an American character throughout the main story campaign, and it's very, very, very good. I've played through it, I think, at least twice now. Once in vanilla and once with the DLC back in the day, and it remains one of my favorite real-time strategy games, kind of ever, really. Certainly one of my favorites with a story campaign, at least. So we're going to be streaming both of those on Wednesday, which I am looking forward to. Because Legacy of Kain will be a kind of mostly blind playthrough for me, which should be fun. I'll have the chat to help me figure stuff out, because it's a little bit of a obtuse game in some ways. But World in Conflict is an old favourite of mine as well, so I'm going to be keen to share that with you guys. And of course on Friday will be more Fallout New California. Obviously. So yeah, that's the plan for the upcoming week. Yeah, I don't know much about that period of Chinese history either, I have to be honest. I'd probably be more interested if I did, but it's the kind of slightly fantastical nature of it as opposed to actually just the history, which throws me off a little bit. I'm not going to write it off completely on that basis, because obviously Warhammer Total War turned out to be great, but yeah. I certainly won't say I'm hyped for it. You know. Alright, toodles Obergobo. Thanks for popping by. Excuse me. Hopefully I'll kick this cough eventually. In fact, I'm going to go get myself another cup of honey tea. Right, as soon as I end this stream here, probably get... Yeah, what's the time? Yeah. I'll get myself a cup of honey tea and probably go straight to bed and carry on reading Reaper Man. I'm reading 2 books at the moment. One is Mechanicus by Graham McNeill, which is good, but a bit of a slog, because it's very slow and ponderous. And the other book I'm reading is Reaper Man by Terry Pratchett, which is one of the Discworld novels, and I'm absolutely loving it, because it's just, wow, Terry Pratchett is just actually amazing. R.I.P. and all that, but what a genius. Like, honestly, Discworld and Terry Pratchett in general, like, I think, honestly, I extend to it the Monty Python law, which is, like, if you don't like this, like, in this case, if you do not like Discworld or Terry Pratchett, I don't think we can be friends. Like, I think we're just fundamentally incompatible on a core level. If you don't like Terry Pratchett, I don't think we can be friends, because we're just incompatible people at that point. I gotta say. I gotta say. Right. The other thing I need to do is still put the finishing touches on the battle report I recorded yesterday, day before yesterday. The part 3 of the Morgan's Reach campaign on the YouTubes. And then part 4 we're going to be filming in the new year, which will be the final episode, the grand finale. We're probably filming that in January. I don't have a lot going on 40k wise in December because it's December, which means it's difficult for people to travel. So, you have yet to read a Terry Pratchett novel? Holy shit. Deadbeat, stop whatever you're doing, including watching the stream, frankly, and go buy a Terry Pratchett Discworld novel, seriously. Like, right now. Right now. Oh god, yeah, the cover illustrations are so good, aren't they? Hogfather, 'tis the season. Yes, yes, yes. Good suggestion indeed. Like I said, I'm reading Reaper Man at the minute. I just finished Mort as well. I read Mort and then immediately went straight on to Reaper Man. So, and the ones I've read in the past, I started reading it because basically I was off ill, as you know, and I was feeling a bit shite, frankly. And I just wanted to read something, and the 40k Black Library stuff I usually read when I just want to read something was a bit like grim and depressing. I was like, oh god, I can't deal with this right now. I'm sitting here with my copy of Mechanicus trying to read it while feeling ill, and like, no, I can't do this. So I open up my Kindle Paperwhite thingy, and I go on the Amazon store, and lo and behold, what pops up? Mort. And I think to myself, I never read Mort. I never read any of the Death books from the Discworld series. Fuck it. And I bought Mort immediately and downloaded it straight away and started reading, and I think I put it down finally when I was about 55% through the book. At about 3 AM. So yeah, really good, really good. I'm going to go back and reread as well the ones I already have read, because it's been such a long time as well. Like, the other ones I read... I haven't read most of the series, to be fair. Like, back in, like mid-2000s, I think, is when I was getting into them previously, and I was reading most of the City Watch ones, you know. Thud, The Fifth Element, etc. Which I really, really enjoyed. Yes, Zach, that's the one. That's the one. Sam Vimes is love, yes. It's difficult not to like Sam Vimes, right? I love the guy ever since that in the opening of, I forget which book it was, but the one where he's thinking about BLTs. And how the best BLTs really just have a maximum of B and a minimum of L. And I was like, yes. This also is my philosophy on BLTs. BLT. It's a type of sandwich. Bacon, lettuce, and tomato. And really what you want is the maximum of bacon and the minimum of lettuce. They're such good books, seriously. If you're watching this, / listening to this or whatever right now, and you haven't read any of the Discworld novels by Terry Pratchett, go read them. Just go read them, especially if you're someone who enjoys fantasy. Even if you're not, frankly, you should read them anyway, because they are so good. They are so fucking good. You will laugh out loud reading them. You really will. I can almost guarantee you it, in fact. Like, money back guarantee. If you do not laugh out loud while reading a Terry Pratchett novel, then you can have your money back. Alright, enough babbling and rambling from me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. And also, I'm going to start doing this from now on, I think. For those of you folks on YouTube who are watching this after the fact, because I have started putting these VODs on YouTube now, on the old Sorcerer Dave live channel. Thanks for watching as well. Thanks for listening in. Those of you guys who watch the old archives on YouTube, I don't forget about you. I know who you guys are. You weren't able to make it to the stream, so you watch it on there instead. I know you're there. I know you're listening. So you have a good day too. And yeah, I'll catch you on Wednesday, everybody, where we'll be doing some Legacy of Kain and some World in Conflict, which is a bizarre combination of flavors to segue all the way back right into that first conversation we had in the stream about peanut butter. Yeah, it's an odd combination of games, but I don't really care. We're going to play it anyway, so... Alright, cheers everybody. Had fun with this tonight, and yeah. There'll probably be more of this again on Monday, because I just love this game so much. Alright. Toodaloo, everybody. Oh, actually, is there anyone we can go quickly raid? There usually isn't on a Monday night. No, there isn't still. Yeah. It's always, isn't it? Twitch is always dead on a Monday evening. Alright, anyway. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.